Hi, this is Pearl and welcome to my channel. So today I have for you the long-awaited sunscreen video. So I have in front of me 8 different sunscreens that are great for mature, oily skin. So if you're interested in seeing what I recommend for sunscreen products, then please keep on watching. Hey, those of us with mature skin, we're always fighting the effects of aging, sun damage, fine lines and wrinkles, and for me, hyperpigmentation. So if you're using all those acids and serums and all of that, but you're not using sunblock, it's all for nothing. Because a lot of the sun damage that I have is from when I was younger. I did use sunscreen when I was younger, but I surfed a lot. So I think I got a lot of sun damage from always surfing and wiping my face and all of that. And I also used to take Accutane way back. I only did that for a little bit, and I've been using Retin-A for a long time as well. So when you're using those types of products, it is very, very important. I don't know how much I can stress that you put sunscreen on your face. So I know that there's a lot of research out there about getting vitamin D and sunscreen blocking the vitamin D. I do put sunscreen on my face every morning with my AM skincare routine, but I don't always put it on my body when I'm dropping off the kids. And they say you only need like 15 minutes of natural sunlight to get your vitamin D for the day. So if I'm outside for a long period of time, more than 10-15 minutes, I always put sunscreen all over my body. That's why I'm so light, especially with the pandemic. I have not gone outside. This is the whitest I've ever been. My kids are laughing at me because they're so dark because they're always outside. And I have been, this is the palest I've ever been. So if I ever get back to being my natural tan self, I'm gonna have to buy a lot of new foundations because I've been buying foundations for this color. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I do have 8 here that I recommend for mature skin. And the last, let's see, I have about 3 of them that I really highly recommend for those of you with oily skin. But I do like to recommend, and I'll get to those in a minute. And also the biggest question I get is how do I reapply sunscreen, because I am anal about reapplying every 2 hours, especially when I'm outside. And the biggest question I get is how do I reapply sunscreen when I have a full face of makeup? And I'll show you that too. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna go with Make Prem, Protect Your Skin from the Sun. This has UV defense and blue ray sun fluid. This is SPF 50 plus, and it's got the PA++++. So the 4 pluses on there is the best that you can get. Now, I know that there have been some issues or some news going around about some of these Korean and Japanese brand sunblocks, but I'm not sure what the final analysis was of that, but I do highly recommend this. Now this is a big bottle. Let's see, it's got 6.76 fluid ounces and it's a 12-month shelf life, and right here it has a date for you to write when you opened it, and I forgot to do that, so I will do that because I remember when I ordered this. I do order this from Amazon.com, and this does not leave a white cast. So let me just put some on my hand. Now for every sunscreen that you put on, it's recommended that you put from 1/3 to half a teaspoon. But see how it blends nicely in? This does leave me moisturized. So if I'm gonna use a drier or a fully matte foundation, this is the sunscreen that I will put on first. But it doesn't leave me oily, and it does not leave a white cast on there. So this is I highly recommend this. I've been using this for years. So this is one of the ones I rotate through, and it doesn't leave a white cast, which I think is really important. Now when I do put my sunscreen on in the morning, I get up in the morning, wash my face, do my AM skincare routine, and then I put my sunblock on. And what I typically do is I put 1 layer on, let it kind of set down, and then I'll put my 2nd layer on because I want to make sure I get the 1/3 to half a teaspoon in there. So that's the size like of an edamame or a lima bean, you know what I mean? So I like to be careful, so I do apply that twice just to make sure, because I don't think you can OD on it unless it's got some kind of a white tint, but you can definitely have not enough. So the first one I recommend is Make Prem, and this is both a combination of physical and chemical sunscreen. Know that going into it, but this is really good for oily combination skin, sensitive skin too. So there's Prem, my first one. And by the way, this one on Amazon is $30 for 6.76 ounces. So that's a great deal because this will last you a long time. And I do use this on my kids as well. Okay, the next one I have for you is the Biore UV Watery Gel SPF 50, and this also has the PA+++++. So this is also suitable for the body as well as the face. And this is a sunblock like this, and it's made out of hyaluronic acid as well as some royal jelly extracts. And this does not leave a white cast on the face either. This is great for oily skin, and it's kind of waterproof or water resistant. So this is highly recommended. Now look at how good that looks. I also use this in a two-step format after my morning skincare, but this is so great. This is also moisturizing as well, but it's great for oily skin because it is so lightweight in texture. So I love this Biore, and I think this is the second or third bottle I've gone through, and it's imported from Japan. So this is a Japanese brand, but I really, really like this. I use this on my kids as well. So all of these sunscreens that I use, I think are safe for kids, and so I use them with them as well. After you put your moisturizer and sunscreen on, if at all possible, let it set for like 15-20 minutes before you go in with your makeup routine. So these two I highly recommend, and this one on Amazon is, let's see, so this one on Amazon is 20 bucks, $20, and you can see that it comes with a lot. And the Biore UV sunscreen is a mixture of chemical and mineral sunscreen. So I love that. I prefer a chemical sunscreen because of the way it dries down on my face and makes it look good for my oily skin. But I like mineral sunscreen because of my acne prone skin. So when I have a combination of the two, it's like perfect for me. Okay, the next one I have for you is Glow Skin Beauty. I have the one for oily skin, and it's got SPF 40. Now, I have the one for oily skin because this is more of a thick, moussey kind of a texture, and it is white, but it does blend out. And this one I also apply twice, but it's great because it's got hyaluronic acid, and look, you can't see the white cast, but it's also very moisturizing with the hyaluronic acid, and it has no oil, so it doesn't clog your pores, which is important for me as an oily skin person. So this is great for mature skin as well. So I do tend to use this more moisturizing one when I'm going to put on a full coverage foundation, or if I am just gonna go out the day without putting any makeup on. It's a great, beautiful, beautiful sunblock. This does have zinc oxide, octinoxate, and octisalate. So it's really lightweight and invisible, and it feels so good on the skin, and it's oil free, so this is great. Then the fourth one I have is the Ulta MD Skincare UV Broad Spectrum 45. This calms and protects acne prone skin, and it's got niacinamide, zinc oxide for facial sunscreen. So this is really good. This is a mineral sunscreen, which, let me wipe this other one off. I have my makeup eraser here to erase all of this. Now this one comes like this. And this is great for those of us with oily skin, acne prone skin, which is what I typically have. I have a great handle on it right now, but this is super lightweight as well, and I highly recommend this if you're looking for something that's moisturizing, and it does not leave behind a white cast. But look at how luminizing that looks. It's beautiful under makeup, and it doesn't, all of these don't ruin my makeup application, which is huge for me when I try out sunblock. But right now, I'm so happy with my array of sunblock that I have that I'm not really looking to add more into my rotation. Ulta MD UV Broad Spectrum SPF 46. Now there are different types of Ulta MD SPF, so if you've got oily skin like me, make sure you get the one that's for acne prone skin. So that's always good to remember. So buy the sunscreen that's applicable for your skin type. Now, one of the chemical sunscreens that I love is Glossier Invisible Shield Daily Sunscreen. This is SPF 35. This is a chemical sunscreen, and it helps prevent sunburn. But what I love about this right here is it's a clear gel, and it goes on so smoothly and looks great under makeup. If I'm going to be using more of a glowy foundation, I will put this on and let this set in, because look, it looks like I have nothing on. So I love this, and I do use this on a rotation. I really do like this sunscreen, and my kids like this one too because it smells kind of just like a sunblock would. So there's that. Now the last one that I have before I go into how I reapply my sunscreen throughout the day, I just recently purchased it in my Sephora haul, and it's the Polish Choice Resist Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense Broad Spectrum SPF. It's got antioxidants and resveratrol. I can't believe how much I love this. Now this is a tinted sunblock, but it dries down matte on my skin. And this is made out of zinc oxide. But I do like that it's tinted because it's great for my skin color, but it ends up drying like your skin. And it works great under makeup. And the reason I love this so much is for my oily skin, it dries down matte, which is a huge, huge win for me. So I've been really loving that as well. I've been using this a lot since I got it, since the Sephora sale, so I know I love it. I love it. And I think this might be my favorite so far, other than that the SPF is only 30 and these others are higher than that. Let's see, I go up to 50. The Glossier is only 35, but the rest are higher, 40 and above. But I've been really enjoying this. So now let's talk about the sunscreen that I use after I have a full face of makeup on. Now, one thing that I always have in my car, I have it in the door handle so I can always reapply sunscreen because I get a lot of sun from indirect and direct sunlight when I'm driving the kids to school. I'm in the car 2 to 3 hours a day because the kids are at a school that's 30 minutes away, and so my kids because I have 4 kids, the drop off and pickup times are different. So I'm in the car 2 to 3 hours a day. So that's why I always ask about audiobooks and podcasts that you guys listen to. But the one thing that I always have is the Color Science Total Protection Sunscreen Brush. So this is what I got. This one is in the color translucent. I usually have the tinted one, but I'm so pale that the medium that I usually get, I'll have all of these items linked down below, is a little bit too dark for me. So if I have a full face of makeup on, I just take this, and if you shake it like this, you can see the powder come out. But I just take this and I dab this all over my skin. And not only does it control the oil, so you can see that there, but it also gives me sunscreen, which I love. So I do put this all over my face and my neck and my ears. And my kids love this because it doesn't have an odor and it's non-greasy, and they put it all over their face. So I use this probably the most, and I go through these really quickly. So I get this one on Amazon, and I'll have this link down below as well. But if you have a deeper skin tone than me, then you might want to get the one that's tinted because it'll blend better with your skin. Now, the other item that I use for when I have a full face of makeup is a Kate Somerville makeup setting spray. Now this is SPF 50 and it's uncomplicated SPF. It's got a soft focus makeup setting spray, broad spectrum SPF 50 sunscreen, and this is a chemical sunscreen. So I always shake it up, and I usually carry this in my handbag because I just go between these depending on my mood. But I don't like to use this in the car because it smells the car up, because it does have an odor. But what I do is I open this up and it has a lock and an unlock, and then I just spray my face. Now this is great for the beach because at the beach you'll have sand all over and you just spray this all over, and I use this on my kids as well. But it does have a scent to it, like a sunblock scent to it. So I do use this. So these are the 2 things that I highly recommend to use if you have a full face of makeup and you need to reapply your sunscreen. So I'm always using these, especially when I'm out and about outside of the house. So these are the 2 sunscreens that I use to reapply when I have a full face of makeup on. Okay, that is my SPF recommendations. What do you guys think? I love all of these. I mean, I would highly recommend every one that I mentioned. I wouldn't mention it if I didn't stand by it. So these are great SPF, and don't forget to use 1/3 to 1/2 teaspoon, the size of an edamame bean or a lima bean, and reapply it to your face. If I'm not wearing any makeup, I will just use whatever sunscreen that are not these and reapply it to my face every 2 hours, and make sure you take care of your skin. Otherwise, there's no point in using all the serums and retinoids and all of the acids on your face, because the sun damage is going to be too great. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next time.